What's up, everybody? This is the Mac Attack Jeff McMahon, and this is Battle of the Brands. I'm going to start it right off with Raw and the Alexa Bliss coronations, the promo that started it off, and she killed it. She was perfect in this promo. I can't speak for Patrick and his best promo of the week, but this is my vote. I enjoyed this thoroughly, and it led into a really good 8-woman tag match as well, which Alexa Bliss did win. I was a big fan of her. She was the star of the week, in my opinion, and that goes for both shows. So good on her. It was really, really entertaining. Then went to a Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, The Miz, and Dean Ambrose promo. Basically, with a few comedy bits in there, Seth Rollins said he wants Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor said he wants Brock Lesnar. The Miz basically kind of did his thing on the mic, his whole heel shtick. And it led to Dean Ambrose saying he was a fighting champion, which Patrick got a kick out of, and it's rightfully so. He hasn't defended since Mania, if I recall. So it was good for what it was, and then it announced a triple threat main event, which I'll get into in a second, for the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this is all well and good, but this is what happens when your main title isn't on the show. You got top stars fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, which is good in the sense that it elevates the title, bad in the sense that these guys should be going for the main title and it's just not there. So I enjoyed it for what it was. It was definitely really good, and it was a main event that I was really looking forward to. Then you had a cruiserweight match in the middle there. Nothing too much there. Another big part of Raw was Kurt Angle coming out basically saying Braun Strowman had a torn rotator cuff and Roman Reigns is out as well with injuries. So I expect that I said it in our review of Payback, even though it got cut, that I expect that to be an ambulance match at Extreme Rules. Still expect that. But in the middle there, Bray Wyatt interrupted and basically said this is his world. It could be Kurt Angle siding with him or not, but he's going to take control regardless. So it was actually a really good promo from Wyatt and Angle. That was interesting, and it wasn't the last that we would hear from them. You had Cesaro and Sheamus explain why they attacked the Hardys. Basically, didn't like how they stole the spotlight. Makes perfect sense for their heel characters, so that was pretty good as well. Then you had a couple filler matches with Apollo Crews. Then you had the triple threat main event, and these guys just tore the house down. This was an awesome match, top to bottom. There really wasn't anything missing from this triple threat. Ended up with The Miz winning and becoming the number one contender because there was interference from Samoa Joe attacking Seth Rollins, as well as Bray Wyatt coming out and attacking Finn Balor, giving The Miz the win. This did a lot. Normally don't see double interferences, but it worked in this case because it set up 3 different feuds for Extreme Rules in one match. So now we're going to have The Miz and Ambrose, Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe, and Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. This was really good. Overall, I gave Raw a 7.5. It was up from last week. I actually thought it was better than Payback as a show. The biggest takeaway I had was that from top to bottom, it was very entertaining. It put over certain feuds. It extended feuds. Over in the matches, the last match was a 4-star match for me. It was probably, I know Patrick said it was the best TV match of Raw this year. I'm inclined to agree with him. I don't remember too many other Raw matches, but and that kind of makes me sway toward this one being the best. It could be just a prisoner of the moment thing, but definitely good. So overall, a 7.5. It was a really captivating show, and kudos for Raw for doing that the night after Payback. And then we had tonight, SmackDown Live. This was a pretty good show. I thought we'll just jump right into it. It opened up with Jinder Mahal holding the title, and then Shane McMahon basically saying, "This is not yours. I'm giving it back to Orton." who, by the way, we did not see tonight, which knocked it down a little bit. You want your WWE champion there. No real explanation why he wasn't there. And he even gave back the title to Orton, according to Shane McMahon, so he should have been in the arena. Um, my take on this was it was a bad ending to this whole taking the title thing. I thought this should have been something that Orton should have snuck attack Mahal and took the title, rather than just have Shane McMahon take it away like a child, uh, taking away a child's toy that he stole from another kid. I thought that was pretty lame, personally, but it is what it is. So that story part is over. And then in the middle, he said that he's going to face Sami Zayn later tonight, so it was just a cheap way to announce that match. And then we had Chris Jericho come out, announced by Shane McMahon, and good promo, nothing too major, just a good way to introduce him to the Smackdown brand. And then Styles came out and said he doesn't matter, or doesn't care who has the title, he's going to take it. Owens came out, said he's the face of America, basically, and he should have that title, and he's going to get it back in a rematch tonight. And then said Styles can leave the ring, doesn't really matter about what he thinks, and Styles ended up attacking Owens, and Styles ended up getting banned from ringside for the match tonight, which will play a part later on. But good promo nonetheless. And then you had Jinder Mahal versus Sami Zayn, and Jinder's starting to build a little bit of momentum. It's good that he has a faction with him, even though the Singh brothers don't really do anything. I would like to see some promos out of these guys, but it is what it is. It was a decent match for what it was. Jinder Mahal ends up beating Sami Zayn after the Singh brothers interfere. Sami Zayn was bleeding from the mouth, so I don't know what Jinder Mahal does in the ring, but I feel like he keeps hurting people, like, legitimately. But we'll see what happens. You do that to Randy Orton, as been proven in the past, he will actually hit you. So hopefully he cleans it up, but I mean, we'll see. It was a decent match, nothing major, like a 2.5-star match. Then we had basically a video package for Nakamura where Dolph Ziggler's saying this guy won't even show up. We're building a pay-per-view around this guy. He's not even here. But Shane McMahon was right behind him. Dolph Ziggler basically said, watch my match with Sin Cara and I'll impress you, instead of Nakamura's stupid entrance, as per Ziggler. We cut into Ty Dillinger finally being on SmackDown. It's been like 3 weeks. And Aiden English actually was in the ring, and he did a quick little intro where he was singing. He was a drama king, so that seems to be his gimmick right now. He was interrupted by Ty Dillinger, and it was a very quick squash match. Ty Dillinger won. Aiden English threw a tantrum kind of in the ring. Reminded me of Christian back in the day when he would throw tantrums after losing. I hope this isn't the gimmick, but after 1 week it is. So we went backstage. Chris Jericho was being interviewed by Renee Young. Aiden English came walking by crying, and Jericho put them both on the list. And that was a semi-funny segment. Pretty much a standard Jericho moment. And then you had Charlotte getting interviewed, and she got attacked by the 3 women, basically to sell that she wasn't going to be there. Prior in the night, they told Becky Lynch to either join them or get beat down, basically saying Charlotte backstabbed Becky Lynch many times. She should go with them instead. And ended up being 2-on-1 handicap match after taking out Charlotte. Charlotte came back later in the match, ended up getting the win, and then the heels beat down Naomi and Charlotte until Becky Lynch's music hit. She stood in the ring, basically teased that she was joining the heels, and then threw Ellsworth into Tamina. And then the brawl was on, and she got a few good licks in, but then the heels triumphed. My thought quickly was that was the right move to make the heels over, because you need to make them credible. It'll lead into a 6-woman tag match at Backlash, more than likely. I know in the middle there, Tamina was doing kicks, and the camera, Patrick and I were talking about this, right? So the camera often gets, like, it catches moments in the perfect angle where you can see them just not even hitting at all. And this was another one where Tamina was trying to stomp Charlotte in the corner, and you could see the foot from her face, like, good, probably like that, actually. It was, it was very comical for me. Like, she clearly wasn't even coming close, and that was just another one of those moments the camera just caught it. Um, I don't think the match will be bad, and this actually tag match wasn't bad for what it was. It was like a 2.5 star match. Nothing special, but nothing absolutely terrible, in my opinion. Then it went to Dolph Ziggler and Sin Cara, and actually, I will give these guys credit, and they only had like a 4-minute match, but for the time that they were allowed to have, it was a very entertaining 4 minutes. I thought they did very well, both of them, and Dolph Ziggler ended up getting the win, obviously, because he's going against Nakamura. But like I said, they did not have a long time, but they made the most of it for sure. I enjoyed it. And then we had my favorite segment of the night, and again, can't speak for Patrick. This would be my favorite promo or segment, or however he wants to word it. The fashion files from Breezango. These guys cracked me up in this. Basically, spoofing Law and Order, and how they cracked the case of Ascension, and they got a new case where the Uggos, as they referred to them as and they listed a bunch of their crimes. My favorite line was by far, "Oh, that could be jaywalking," and then Fandango goes, "Or Jimmy walking," which killed me. I don't know if anyone caught it, but it was a really good play on words. And they also referred to Chicago as the Windy Apple, which is a Simpsons reference if anyone didn't catch that. I thought this was a really funny promo. I wish they gave tag teams more time, but at least they're giving Breezango a little bit here, and I thought that was very entertaining. I would like to see more of those in the future. I think they can really build on that. I think that's a really good good promo idea from the WWE there. And then finally, the big story of the night was the U.S. Championship match between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Another really solid match from these two, very similar to their Payback match. Kevin Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb and got the win to win his title back, which, real quick, not really sure why. I get why they changed title hands. I get it. And I understand what the reasoning was. They wanted Chris Jericho on Smackdown for the following angle, which I'll get into in a second. I still think it could have been done at Payback and not gone to Smackdown, and I think it was just a ratings boost type thing of why they put Chris Jericho on the show. But ultimately, Kevin Owens got his title back, and then post-match, Kevin Owens kind of tried to show a little concern because Chris Jericho was hurt. But he went in and hit the pop-up powerbomb again, and basically just started beating on him, and then left the ring. And then Chris Jericho was getting help to the back, and in comes Kevin Owens again. Basically attacks him and grabs a chair, and looks like he's going for a concerto. And he stops, and then he wraps the chair around Chris Jericho's head and slams him into the ring post, which was vicious. I saw that, and I was like, damn, that was cold. And that is the way to write Chris Jericho off for his Fozzy tour, and that was awesome. I knew this was going to happen, where because you knew he was going on tour, so you knew they were going to write him off SmackDown. So this was a really good way to do it, and this is how Kevin Owens should be booked, as just this vicious heel who will just destroy anyone who's in his way. This is how SmackDown should have ended, and I was really happy with that. I gave SmackDown a 6.5, so that means Raw wins Battle of the Brands this week. But very good shows from both. I was entertained both Monday and Tuesday. I was entertained from Payback on Sunday. Very, very upset that the pay-per-view review show ended up getting deleted, because it was a very good show. I thought Patrick did a good job, so check out that review. Check out his Raw review. Check out his SmackDown review. Like, subscribe, Comment on this video, tell me who you thought won this week, Raw or SmackDown. Check out our other videos, and till next time, see ya.